Good evening, everyone. We are going to start the 2020 Osaka YMCA Human Rights Education Workshop now. Today, we are connecting the venue of the Osaka YMCA Hall on the second floor with the 4 local offices of the 4 corporations via online Zoom. I would like to thank all of you for attending this workshop. My name is Kentaro Hayashi, head of the Language Business Group of the School Business Department, and I will be your MC today. To begin, I would like to share with you today's content. Please look at the screen. We will have an opening worship service, opening remarks, presentation, and closing remarks in that order. The workshop is scheduled to end at 8:30 p.m. We will now begin our opening worship. Because of the corona pandemic, we will skip the hymnal singing. We will read the mission statement of the Osaka YMCA with the seated position. Please be still and listen to the prelude. The mission statement of the Osaka YMCA we were going to read aloud. Please be seated. The mission statement of Osaka YMCA. We of the Osaka YMCA, learning from the example of Jesus Christ's life of love and service as signified in the Holy Bible, pledge your lives with infinite hope to the effort of building a society where people live together and help each other in collaboration with the YMCA worldwide. Cultivating the spirit of volunteerism and mutual cooperation, we shall strive to develop friendly and humane local communities. With the people of all generations, we shall organize and offer programs and activities for a lifelong process of learning and self-awareness, raising that will serve people of all generations as an opportunity for creating new friendships and discovering new meanings to life. We shall raise children who will build a shared future. We shall raise in cooperation with families and local communities. We shall develop the spirit and mind to respect the importance of life, and we shall seek to advance the enhancement of the harmony between the nature of human beings. We shall strive ourselves hand in hand with the people in the world to eradicate problems related to the environment, human rights, and poverty, and to realize a world with people, peace, and justice. Bible reading. Ephesians, verse 4, chapter 4, verse 32. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgive one another as God in Christ forgave you. Prayer. Dear God, thank you very much for gathering us today for the Human Rights Education Workshop today. Those who are here today and those who are attending online, make today's workshop fruitful and then meet the guidance of you. And please be with us from the beginning to the end, and then the center of the meeting, and strengthen us, and then guide us. Today we invited the speaker to think about gender equality. We always provide activities with so many people. Through this workshop, we get learning to enhance the relationship with the people gathering to the Osaka YMCA. Today, those who wish to attend because of their daily routine, those who couldn't attend, we will think of them and then bless them all. I would like to dedicate this humble prayer through the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Now, Mr. Kenichro Ogawa, the General Secretary of Osaka YMCA, will give opening remarks. Good evening, everyone. We at the Osaka YMCA have established a Human Rights Education Committee to prepare and implement human rights training sessions. Under the leadership of the committee's chairperson, Ms. Chifumi Kajita, and vice chairperson, Mr. Kentaro Hayashi, the committee is deciding what the theme and who will be invited to speak at the training sessions. It was decided at the committee meeting that we will continue to hold training on LGBT as we did last year. The reason is that although there are LGBT people in the YMCA, our understanding of them is not as good as it could be. We discussed and decided that it is important to continue to address this important issue at this year's training. We all know that discrimination is not good. None of the faculty and staff gathered here say, let's discriminate. I don't think that eliminating discrimination at the YMCA and respecting human rights is merely identifying that a particular expression is okay or not okay. It's more than that. We have to understand what it means to not have our human rights protected, to understand what it means to be discriminated against, and to make an effort to eliminate discrimination instead of being indifferent or turning a blind eye. It's about becoming a people who proactively make an effort to end discrimination. 6 years ago, in the J-League Soccer, some Urawa Red Ultra fans posted a banner at the entrance to the gate of the J-League Soccer stand behind the home team's goal. It was facing the opposite side of the pitch from the entrance to the cheering section, with the word Japanese only, written in Japanese. A security guard noticed and responded to the situation. And the Urawa Reds headquarters also ordered the spectators to remove the banners, but negotiations with the person who posted them were unsuccessful, and the banner remained on the ground until after the match. Taking this result seriously, the J-League chairman apologized and ruled that the next game would be a non-spectator game. The three supporters who held up the banner explained that they didn't want to lose control of their support because of the recent increase in foreign spectators, and that they didn't want outsiders to come in, and that they had no intention of discrimination and regretted their behavior. It makes me think about how hard it really is to protect human rights and work to eliminate discrimination. First of all, it is a question of how much awareness of human rights I myself have. It is not enough for us as YMCA employees to raise human rights awareness in our own minds. We have to actually put it into practice in our projects and programs. Through the work of the YMCA, we are working to build a peaceful and fair society. Today's training is aimed at hearing from LGBT people and thinking together about how we can create a society that is comfortable for everyone to live in. Our speaker is Wakana Oka, 15-year-old freshman in high school. We will approach today's training session with an open and flexible mind. Thank you, Mr. Ogawa. Now, I would like to introduce today's speaker, a student of Osaka YMCA International College International High School course, Wakana Oka. Please welcome everyone with a round of applause. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. Now, I would like to start today's human rights education workshop. The purpose of today's workshop is to deepen our understanding of the LGBT movement to help strengthen our society. Let's think about and talk about it. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Wakana Oka. Chinese character is laughing comes true. I'm a transgender, FTM. I will explain later more in detail. Born in 2004, now I'm 15 years old. I'm the 10th grade of Osaka YMCA International High School. I have a dream to be a CEO of my own company. I established in April 2020 the first Penguin Company Limited. Now I would like to explain about transgender, female to male. Even though I was born as a woman, I have been someone who wants to live as a man. That's FTM. And then the born as a man and I want to be a female is M2F. From the time I was old enough to know, I thought of myself as a boy. This is a picture of me when I was 5 years old at my Shichigo-san 7-5 and 3-year-old coming of age celebration. My costume was always the hakama trousers. Quiz. A father crashed into a telephone pole in a serious accident. The father was killed instantly, and his son, who was in the passenger seat, was rushed to the hospital in a critical condition, unconscious. Luckily, the director of that hospital, who was known as a junior surgeon, was assigned to perform the operation in person. The director entered the operating room, saw the child lying on the operating table, and said, "This is my son, isn't it? What exactly does this mean?" Please think about it. You have 10 seconds. Time is up. Does anybody know the answer? Any volunteer? I would like to point someone. What about you? Thank you for volunteering. I don't know the answer. I have no idea. Well, thank you for trying. Anybody else? I would like to point again. What about you? I have no idea. I would like to try one more person. Does anybody know the answer? Person over there. Isn't that a mother? Thank you. Now I'll show you the answer. Thank you for 3 volunteers. Yes, the director was the mother of the child. Exactly what you meant, what you said. When you heard the words junior sergeant and director, you probably thought of a man. We all have our assumptions. Those who are left-handed in this audience, raise your hand, please. There are several people. Those people whose blood type is AB in this audience, raise your hand, please. There are several people here in the audience. Just like left-handed and blood type AB people, LGBT people are 1 in 13. We tend to think that LGBT people are not around us, don't we? The truth is, there are LGBT people all around us, but they are invisible because it's very difficult for them to come out. They cannot expose themselves. Let's think about LGBT. What is LGBT? LGBT is the abbreviation of 4 abbreviations. L stands for lesbian, G stands for gay, B stands for bisexual, T stands for transgender. And when we explain about LGBT with this chart, we divide it into 3 categories: the human sex, physical sex, mental sex, and favored sex, in 3 categories. L, the lesbian, their mind sex is female, and favored sex is female. Those people are the lesbian. Gay is their mental sex is male, and the favored sex is male. We call them gay. Bisexual, their favorite sex is both men and women. Transgender, physical sex is male, but mental sex is female, or opposite. Physical sex is woman, but mental sex is man. FTM, just like me. Physical sex is female, and mental sex is male. We call it FTM. I would like to talk about my family. Father and mother and elder brother and elder sister, and we keep 2 dog pets. I have never come out to my family because it was not necessary. My family treated me not as a man or a woman, but as Wakana, as a one human being. They loved me. And my families always think about in order to be able to have a good time. That is a top priority. And we respect each other. And we call ourselves a Team Oka and help each other. Now I would like to go back to my story. This is a picture of my nursery school days. Nursery school days, how I spent time was playing outside. And I didn't have any problems being a transgender because I could do whatever I wanted. I could dress whatever I like, and I could do whatever I wanted. I had no problems. Elementary school days, this is a picture of my commencement. My elementary school days, I enjoyed soccer, playing soccer and baseball, and made our original card games. And I played with mainly boys. I did have some girlfriends. And when my birthday party, we invited many girls also. The troubles I had in elementary school days is changing room and restroom. My elementary school, from the 3rd grade, we had separate changing room. And then I had to use the girls' changing room. But I entered the girls' changing room, but my appearance seemed to be boyish. So the girls around me became panicky because my appearance was boyish, and then they thought a boy entered into the dress changing room. So I didn't like that. I told my friend, and a friend who is girl told me nobody was there now, so you can change. So I could use girls' changing room. I didn't have a serious problem in those days. And next, the restroom is the problem, but we had a multi-purpose restroom, so I didn't have serious problems. I would like to talk about the junior high school days. This is also a picture of commencement. In my junior high school days, I played tennis all the time. As you can see, I played the tennis all the time. The troubles I had so many problems. Changing room and restrooms, and then uniform was a serious problem. Good things about myself was the teacher understood me as a human being. And understanding from my teachers helped me a lot. So I could spend enjoyable junior high school days. And I could concentrate on playing tennis. I was absorbed in playing tennis. So whenever I played tennis, I could relieve my stresses. And then I got a postcard with a measurement notice before I entered junior high school. I used to dress in trousers. So my mother suggested I put my pants on if you don't like wearing skirts. And my mother even told me to get a permission from the headmaster. So I told my mother not to do that because I was so concerned about what the other students think about me, my wearing pants. So I went to my skirt went to have my measured. I didn't have the courage to put my pants on. So I went to get my skirt measured. I had a hard time putting on my skirt because my junior high school uniforms has the differentiation between the boys and girls. A scarf and a tie, colors of school pins, colors, shapes, number of buttons, and pants and skirts. And then I had a very sensational encounter with my homeschool teachers when I was 7th grade. And then the teacher got information from my elementary school days teachers. So they got information that I often wear pants instead of skirts. The teacher told me I understood. And then in a teacher's meeting, the teacher mentioned about me not wearing a skirt all the time. It took some time, but I could start wearing the pants. So headmaster started the discussion of changing the uniforms not to differentiate. A scarf and a tie were made tie only. Everybody wore tie. And school pins, white for boys and red for girls, but it was unified as gold only. And the color was decided by all the students. Colors, shapes, boys with color, girls without color, with color only. The different number of buttons between boys and girls unified them into 3 buttons. Pants for boys and skirts for girls. It became optional. Boys can wear skirts if they want to. The girls can wear pants. I had several other problems, changing rooms and classes divided by gender, and cute lines, and then group photos. The example, restrooms. We didn't have a multi-purpose room in a junior high school, so I had to go to the bathroom during the class. And the break time, the bathroom was very crowded, so even though I wanted to go, I couldn't go. So I tried not to use bathroom during my junior high school days. If I really have to use the restroom, I went to the restroom during class. Next, changing room was another problem. The separate changing room for men and women. So I went and changed at the same time everyone else was done dressing, and I rushed to get dressed. And next problem was queuing. the problems was separate rows of boys and girls. So as for the solution, I lined up at the back of the line. Even though I wanted to line up in the boys' line, I couldn't do that. Because of my height, I was in the front. I had a back problem. I had a backache, so because of that reason, I lined up at the very back of the line. In case of the athletic meet, many competitions were separated men's and women's. I couldn't attend. I really wanted to take part in, but I didn't want to take part in as a girl. I was a captain of the club, and I had the confidence, but I didn't want to take part in the girls' club competition, so I didn't enter the competition. I felt very sad. And another problem was a class tournament of a big jumping rope. And it was lined up by the height of the students. But someone proposed, let's divide into boys and girls. And girls in the front and boys in the back. So I couldn't attend. So teacher told me all the class had to participate in as one class, but I didn't join the practice. Only the tournament I joined. Group photo was another problem for the graduation yearbook. We had picture taken. The group photo was by gender. The photographer told us to separate boys and girls, boys on the right and girls on the left. I couldn't do anything about it, even though it was a final Photoshop, and it appeared to be a very sad face. My junior high school life was more painful and troubling than it was fun. But thanks to the teachers who listened to me and tried to make me enjoy coming to school, it was a memorable experience. And most importantly, I am able to enjoy the present days. This is a picture of present situation as a high school student. My criteria in selecting high schools, because I had many troubles when I was in junior high school. I didn't want to go through the same troubles in high school. So in order to go through such troubles, I didn't want to go to high school. But my homeroom teacher in junior high school told me I should go to high school. So if I were to go to school, in what circumstances I could attend high school? The criteria are uniform, learning, and others. Uniforms should be no uniform or casual clothes, or uniform is optional. And speaking of the learning, I was interested in studying English, so I wanted to study English very hard. And then I wanted to study abroad, so there is a chance of studying abroad. And also, choices of learning is very important when I choose the high school. And also, the school I can commute from my home, and acceptance, no acquaintances, because I close myself into my own shell. So I wanted to change my attitude from high school days. So I wanted to make many friends, because if someone knew about me when I was in junior high school, so if somebody knows me, then I was afraid to close myself into my shell again. So I didn't want to attend the school which the dormitory school, because I know I will have many problems. So when I choose a high school, I collected many brochures from different high schools. I couldn't find any school which suitable for me, so I almost gave up my wish to attend the high school. But very last moment, I got a brochure from YMCA International High School, and I attended open campus of the Osaka YMCA International School. Now I'm here as a student of International School of Osaka YMCA. Currently, I enjoy the sending blog message and creative activities as a CEO of First Penguin Company. I have nothing in particular as a problems, and then I enjoy my life as a boy. I could attend school with my casual clothes, and I came out to my classmates by line on May 28th. May 28th has a significant meaning because it was the day of the online class. After the class, and then school teachers told us, those who can attend the class, please start attending the school. So the reason why I came out, I want to be treated as a friend, not as a man or a woman. I want to meet my real friends. I didn't have such an opportunity when I was in junior high school, so I couldn't meet the real friends when I was in junior high school. And I don't want to keep secrets. I don't want to hide as being a transgender because I will set my limit by myself. I didn't want to do that. And then I don't know how long I could keep my secret. So I decided to come out. The reaction to my friends was very warm-hearted. Oh, I see. You're my friends already. So my reaction was very good. What I want from society, please do not change, not to divide between male and female. Delete a gender section, gender column. Learn more about LGBT. Not to be exclusive as being in LGBT. Not to be judgmental. Men should act like this. Females should act like this. And this is what I want to tell teachers. Language. I don't want to be asked, do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? Masculine and feminine. Boys are like this or girls are like this. I'm very sensitive about these languages. When I was in junior high school, I was very sensitive. And I wonder how the teachers will react when some student comes out. When you are in trouble, you need to talk to someone. It's not about understanding. It's about accepting what is necessary. You need to listen to them. I had my school teacher, homeroom teacher in junior high school listen to me. So it was very relieved. And then when the teacher was asked for advice, do not try to solve by yourself. When someone asks you for advice, don't feel alone. Please call for help. Person concerned, other teachers or specialists. It's not about understanding. It's about accepting what is necessary. You want to understand, but you're only imagining things about people other than yourself. It's important to accept them instead of trying to understand them. Now I would like to start a question and answer sessions. Is it too early now? About my presentation, if somebody has any questions about my presentation, I would like to have a question and answers time. Wakana-san, thank you very much for your presentation. Now, all of a sudden, I appeared on the stage. I am a head teacher of International High School of Osaka YMCA. My name is Misaka. The first time I met Wakana, IHS International High School is before starting the school days, we ask the students, do you really want to study at IHS, Osaka YMCA International School? Along with the parents, we spend about 30 to 60 minutes before actually starting the school days. And when I interviewed Wakana and her and the mother, I really wanted Wakana to come to our school. And then I'm so happy that she's enjoying his school life here at Osaka YMCA International School. And then I hope Wakana will enjoy the rest of her school life here at Osaka YMCA. Before having a question from the audience, I would like to ask you several questions about LGBT. You explained about what LGBT is. LGBT. It's a sexuality. And transgender is gender identity. There's a gap between L and G. What do you think about it? People often discuss about that. LGB and T, there's a gap. Should divide those into two categories. But what I think LGBT, I would like to eliminate the expression LGBT from our society, because we still have to raise the awareness of LGBT. Using this expression, we tend to differentiate people who are LGBT and others. If I say I'm LGBT, oh, I see. If there is no special reaction, and then I will hope our society will be like that. Just like I like boys, I like a girl, just like that. I would like to eliminate using the word LGBT from our society. People tend to categorize because we think it's easier to discuss things. So the expression becomes independently used. We hope today will come to eliminate this expression. I would like to ask you more about the transgender. You used the word coming out. So coming out, it's a decision made by a person. You can come out or you don't come out. I assume there are so many people who haven't made a decision to come out. For those people, how would you like to extend your message? It's better to come out or not to come out? What is your advice? First of all, the reason why I came out is I explained already. First of all, after building up a close relationship with my friends, I thought it will become very difficult to come out. So before building an intimate relationship, I decided to come out. So after becoming good, close friends, even a friend is told from me that I'm a transgender, then he or she will be at loss how to react. So before getting close friends, I wanted to come out because I thought it is easier for my friends to deal with the situation. It was a big decision for me to make. I need some courage to do so, but one of the ideas is to come out to someone who can accept it easily. To understand is very difficult job. So if you don't mind to get understanding from the others, then it will become easier for you to come out. But if you expect understanding from others, it will become very difficult for you to come out. Now, apart from the transgender, I would like to ask you some other question. You the CEO of the company First Penguin, and you wanted to become a company president when you are little. So as an entrepreneur, what kind of job are you doing? The business, what we're doing is this kind of a lecture meeting. I become a speaker to talk about LGBT, or to create what I want to have. If somebody thinks I want to have such and such thing, and then I would like to develop, and that's why I started my own business. So what is the thing you want to have in the society? Well, these days, and more, there is a toilet for the wheelchair people. It used to be men's toilet and female's toilet, and then multi-purpose toilet. But today, there is a multi-purpose toilet for both genders. So these days, the transgender people who are on the wheelchair get puzzled which one to use. So I would like to start developing a transgender or the multi-purpose toilet for wheelchair people. The reason why the first penguin is the penguin which jump into the sea for the first. If it's successful, you can get many fish. But if you have an enemy, like a shark in the ocean, you get eaten. But after the first penguin, the rest of the penguins do not have to worry about the danger, so it's easy for them to jump into water and then get fish. So I want to be a first penguin. I was so impressed about the explanation. Thank you. Now I would like to have some questions from the floor. Anybody in the floor, audience? Does anybody have a question to Wakana? Please feel free. Please.
That's my limit. How is your English? A little bit. It's okay because I'm an English teacher. So stand up. So I'm an English teacher at OYIS, and I had some of my colleagues translate for me.
大阪 YMCA インターナショナルスクール OYIS の英語の先生です。
I really like what you're doing today, and I find it very important that you're talking to adults about this to make teachers and other people change their mind. Do you talk to students about this?
I have never.
Would you like to talk to students about this?
I want to talk for children because I'm not adult. So, なんて言ったらいいかな。
It's okay.
Can I speak Japanese?
Please. She can help.
自分もそんな大人ではないので。
I'm not grown up yet. So from child to child, or I mean children to child to children, it has a close impact. So I would like to do that in the future. And from my childhood, and when you are a child, if you have an opportunity to hear about this topic, I would like to share my experience with the little children.
I ask because I think you are a good role model. How do you say role model? Do you know how to say role model?
That's a hard one.
I think you are a good example for other students who feel like you, who think like you, and for students who don't think like you, but need to understand their friends. And as a teacher, I know students like to learn from students. They don't like to learn from teachers. And I think you are doing a very good job, and I would love for you to talk to my students.
Thank you.
やっぱりここの大阪 YMCA インターナショナルスクールの生徒も、先生からいろいろ習うよ
The students at Osaka YMCA International School,
から習うことってとても大事だし、
they will enjoy
ことがとてもある
learning from other students. Students to students learning is more important from teacher to students learning. If we had an opportunity, I would like you to come to talk about and then give a same presentation to our students.
その他まだまだ質問いかがでしょうか。
Any other people have any questions?
IHS の先生からでもいいですよ。
Oh, teachers from IHS are welcome to ask a question.
IHS の
I'm a Kuriki from IHS.
若菜に質問
I would like to ask Wakana a question. I have two questions.
ま
One,
ずその自分
first one.
自身のことをLINE で
You said you came
っ
out
ていう話でしたけれど
on
も、
the line.
実際に会ってそういう話をされたりとか、ちょっと
Have you ever talked in person
あるのかってい
to
うことを
your
クラ
friends?
スメートと結構そういうことをフランクに話すのか、
You can casually talk about this
そういう
topic
ことが
to your
話せるものなの
friends,
かっていうことが
and then you have such a
なんですけれども、ちょっとこれ私
circumstance with your friends.
で私ちょっと今子育て中
I have a very personal topic. I am in the middle of child rearing.
一人の人間として
I wonder whether I can treat my baby as an independent human being.
自分が保護者
And
の
I
方に
think it's very important.
もらったなんかエピソー
Do
ド
you have any anecdote
があれば教えて
when
ほしい
you
と思います。
are a little child how to be treated by your parents?
私がこう
Regarding the first question, when I came out on the line, and then several other people also came out, I'm just like you, and like so several people started to come out. And then in class, we invited a speaker who is a transgender. And then my friend asked me, you are like that? According to the presentation given by the LGBT speaker. And then I sent a message through blog. And then I have some followers of my blog. And then I mentioned I checked your blog today too. The second question, in all days, my father and mother, when they got a call from my friend. My mother started to call my younger son.
ありがとうございます。
So I was very happy to hear
ありが
that.
とうございます。さあさっきも手挙げてた桐山先生。
Somebody, Mr. Kiriyama, who raised your hand.
はい、IHS 桐山
I'm
です。
Kiriyama from IHS.
話すのものすごく不思議な気持ち
I
が
feel very strange to speak to you like this. Thank you very much for your presentation. I was so glad that you had the courage to talk about yourself today.
お話から
And then through your presentation, I had new learnings.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much for your talk today. I have two questions.
一つは
First one,
すごくこれまでの中で実際に
in your past life,
悩んだり
you had some problems and then you hit the wall
でその中
and you share your experience with us. And then during that experience, people around you, school teachers and friends, you get understanding from those people. Through this experience, please tell us about the behavior or the treatment you get from your teachers or friend more in detail. And then second question is maybe a crossover from the previous questions. You said it's not understanding, it's accepting, necessary to accept. And I could understand. Then how to do or how to put into practice is very challenging. And it is very important as for adults how to deal with this phrase. And everybody is thinking how to deal with this. And you clearly stated it's not about understanding, it's about accepting what is necessary. So, Wakana, if you could explain further about your statement, an additional statement if you had. Well, it's not about understanding. People say, I see, but I think they don't understand exactly. But accepting is, I see, is that right? Then my junior high school teachers asked me, then what is your problem now? Then the conversation will flow smoothly. Then what is your problem? My problem is the uniform. So I could easily comment my problems. And then first question is your past experience. The moment you felt happy because of the friend's behavior or the teacher's behavior, how they treated you. The things I felt happy was that there are so many things I felt happy. But my junior high school, my elementary school, my junior high school commencement, I wore trousers. So I was told I was not allowed to wear pants. The time you are in the junior high school, it may be difficult for us to change the school rules. But I was told that by my teacher. But my headmaster moved swiftly and then changed the rules. So by the time I graduated from junior high school, I could wear pants. So it is very important to make an action. Even though you understand, it's more important to move swiftly based on your understanding. And I felt I was accepted, or my request was accepted. And that was the moment I felt so. So it's easy to say, I understood, but it's more difficult and challenging to make it as an action. I understand. Thank you for your answer. We still have some more time for questions. I'm teaching communication. I'm an IHS teacher. It's 1 out of 13 still stays in my mind. For example, I would like to talk about myself. When I was a child, I enjoyed playing with dolls. And I still have many stuffed dolls. For example, when I was in elementary school, my hair was very long. And then when my mother and sister went out, I dressed female and put my makeup on secretly until at the grade 6. And then without any incidents, I went into junior high school and senior high school. any university.
というと変身願望が高かったの
And
で
then
俳優の道を志すことになり
I
ました
didn't want to work as a third
道
worker.
で生きてきたので
And then I decided to be an actor because I wanted to transform
もしかしたら
myself.
ですけど潜在的な
What I want to say is
キーっていうのが、トランスジェンダーというのは
transgender in the Japanese society. There are so many people who are transgender. You mentioned left-handed and the right-handed.
日本という
In
国
Japan,
もしかしたら世界
well,
も
probably similar in the foreign countries in the world.
する国なんですよね
Japan is a society to form or change left-handed to the right-handed.
もし
They want to divide into
女にな
differentiate
違うかったのに
male and female.
いう子供たちが
And
たくさん
there are so many children
っていうことを
who
ちょっと僕は
happen to be born as physically born as a boy, but mentally as a girl. So there are many children like that. So just like first penguin,
の13人に1人
the percentage 1 out of 13 will become 1 out of 30 or 40.
なったりとかする可能性もあるんじゃ
There's such a possibility in the near future.
これ質問では
This is not a question, but this is a comment. The day after tomorrow, we'll start
ことしようねって
the school lessons.
今
I wanted to send a message. I wanted to do something interesting.
よくブログにも書かせていた
I
だいて
I enjoy your class. I often write about your class in my blog. I feel the same. My body is a girl, but mentally I feel I'm a boy. I played with putting makeup using my mother's cosmetics, and I wonder what I am
そういう
sometimes.
のもすごくあると思います。
But
こうトランスジェンダーっていう
some people are like that.
すごくなんか見えにくくなる
Naming
ものだと
person
思うんですけ
as
ど、
such, as a transgender,
自分多くの人が
without such a category, well, if we illuminate using the transgender or LGBT, there will be more people. The percentage will increase. One last person? Anybody?
はい、お願いします。お願いします。
Please.
すみません、お話ありがとう
Thank you very much for your presentation. I enjoyed it a lot.
お話を聞いていて思ったのが、
When I thought about your presentation, somebody mentioned earlier, today's Japan
向き合うこととか、
is very difficult to face to your own gender.
すごく難しくて、
And we really do that and then think about our own gender
ことがない人とかも
not seriously, and not many people think about it seriously.
小さい頃から
So in your case, when you were little, you face your gender issues, and then you came out, and then you accept you as you are.
姿にすごく素晴らしいなっていうふうに
I'm very impressed.
でそこでちょっと
And then my question is,
その5歳七五歳の時から
when you were 5 years old, you dressed like a boy, and you wanted to dress like a boy.
自分の自身についてだとか、
You
自
how
分の性について向き合ってい
did you face your own gender, and how you accepted it?
悩みがあったと思うん
And
で
I'm
すけど
sure you had so many difficulties and
とかこういう人に出会えたとか
problems.
逆にこういう
But what is the incident or the people whom you met that impacted, influenced you?
出会えてよかったっていうのは
The person whom I met was my family
中にもありましたけ
members.
ど、やっぱり男や女じゃなくやっぱ一人の人間として
I'm
愛してくれたの
lucky
で
having my family
救
members
われていますし、
who loved me as a human being. My mother often says that I have an elder brother and an
もう間がいてもいいんじゃないかって
elder
言っているんです
sister,
で私も別
and then
にそういうふうに
it's okay to have a person who's in between. And I like that expression.
ありがとうございます。
はい。では、いろいろ皆さんあると思うんですけれど
Well,
も、この
I'm
辺り
sure
で
everybody
質問
has a
を
lot
終
of
わら
more
せていただきます
questions, but I would like
ありがとうございま
to
した。
finish the question and answer time.
それではここでグループで
Now, we'd like to have a group work
その
session.
ことについて少し説
I
明
would
を
like to
いたし
explain
ます
about what to do.
この後分かち合いのテーマについて
Now, we would like Oka-san to explain about the theme of the group work. And people who are in the hall, please make a group of 2 or 3. And those who are online, go into the group work room. On your screen, join the group. Please click the join the group. And after joining the group, and then you can unmute your microphone. And then after that time, after the time comes, then screen will comes back to the original screen. And group work is the first trial for us. If you enter the group, if you had nobody else, it may happen. Since time is limited, if you don't have any partner in your group, then please work alone. We had some people join very last moment of today, so there may be the different members of your group. Well, I have many questions, but I would like to ask you questions. My question is, what will you do if someone comes out? If you are a teacher, if a student comes out, what will you do? If a friend comes out, if you are a parent, if your child comes out, then what will you do? It doesn't matter which LGBT category it is, but in general, what will you do if someone comes out? Now everyone please start the group work. And then after the group work, we will hear from each group and even a group on online. Everyone time's up, so please finish the group work. Now, from the audience in the hall, we would like to share what kind of opinion we have. So, I'm Midori from Sweet International School. Thank you very much for your presentation. I would like to first comment on my impression. I was impressed. You are at the age of 15 and then you face yourself and then think thoughtfully and well-organized presentation with the PowerPoint slides. I was impressed. Thank you very much for your presentation today. In a group discussion, there are so many themes. I don't have a good memory. Our discussion went here and there and everywhere. I used to be a public school teacher, and attendance sheet is started from the boys and then girls, and then physical education class were divided into boys and girls. I had a moment to look back my own experience, and it was a good opportunity. Well, thank you very much. Well, since we had many participants online, so I would like someone to give a report. I am looking at the screen. Please raise your hand if you don't mind reporting. Instead, then I may call you. Is anybody, any volunteer from the online people? Some people's video camera is not on. Please raise your hand if you have any comment or opinion. I don't see anybody raising a hand. So I would like to call a name, Mr. Shigenobu. Please unmute and then give us a report.
総合研究所の重信でございます。
Please speak
お話ありが
louder.
とうございます。いろいろ考えさせられる。
I'm a Research Institute, Shigenobu.
あの
Thank you very much for your presentation. It was a good opportunity to think about today's topic. This is my personal story. When someone comes out and how to react, how to say, and what I'm thinking now in my mind, and then the actual situation will be different. It will be very much different. I will be very much upset when someone comes out, and it will be very difficult I will accept it naturally. Without hesitation, I don't think I'll be able to accept if someone comes out. And that is
重信さん、あり
my
がとう
true
ございま
feeling.
した。それではもう一方、それでは、斉
Mr.
藤
Shigenom,
香
thank
織
you
さ
very
ん、
much for
聞
your
こえます
comment.
でしょうか。
I would like to ask one
ミ
more
ュー
person.
トを解除して、お願いいたしま
Ms.
す。
Kaoru
斉藤香織
Saito,
さん
do you
お
hear
願いい
me?
たします。
Please unmute and then state your
少し声は大きめでお願いします。
Ms. Saito.
すいません。
Please speak louder.
お話ありがとうございました、岡さん。私自身は
Thank you very much for your presentation, Oka-san.
受けた体験が
I myself,
も
I have an experience.
対応の仕方という
I had several incidents of coming out, and then how I dealt with was
時間がかかるかもしれない
instead of telling my reaction, but my impression of your presentation,
やっぱり私た
the junior high school headmaster moved very swiftly and then
考えていかな
make it as a reality and change the school rule. So I share that very seriously, and then I think it's very seriously how to react
挙手をさ
when
れてい
I
る方、ちょ
have
っと見にくくなっております。
such
申し訳ありません。
I'd like
それ
to
では
ask
こちらから、
one more person. If somebody is raising their hand, please, I cannot see
西
you.
林
Please
さん
forgive
よ
me.
ろしいでしょうか。
I will like to call a name.
西林さん、ミュートを解除してお願いいたします。
Please unmute and
聞こえてるんかな。聞こえてますか。
はい、聞こえてます。
do you hear me?
お願いします。
Do you hear
よ
me?
かった話します
Yes, I can hear you.
私たちの
Please
チー
start
ム
your
は
comment.
まず子供がいる人がいなかったので、
In my
なかなか
group,
難しいなと思ってたんですけど、まあイメージして
nobody
考えた
has
時に、
children,
基本
so it was very difficult.
的には
But imagining
出た時も
having
多
a
様な
child,
話になりました。で、
basically speaking,
子供と友達とごめんなさい、なんでもないです。その中に一人、実際にカミングアウトされた人
there's one person who has an experience of someone came out, and then that person was speechless the moment he or she heard a friend came out.
その言葉がその言ってくれた人を受け止めるっていうことなのかなっていう話になりました。
He could,
以上です。
or he or she could say congratulations the moment the person who came out, and that was the word he or she should have told that moment. Thank you very much for your participation. And Oka-san, do you have any final words or message from you? Please. Thank you. So many people gave their opinion. If more and more people like you increased, and then understanding will widely spread, and then the society will be a better society, nice society, too easy to live in. Thank you very much for your attention. Everybody please give a round of applause to express our appreciation. Thank you very much.
それでは閉会の挨
Now
拶
we'd
を
like to have a closing remark from the chairperson of the Osaka YMCA Human Rights Education Committee.
今日は若菜さんのおかげで
Well,
いい
it was a very wonderful learning opportunity. The last year we invited the junior high school teacher who is a transgender.
まだ理解が足りない
And then I felt our understanding was still not good enough. And then this year we accepted Wakana, and then we really wanted her to talk about his experience. And then the way Wakana lives as her life or his life with the support of the family members. And then we would like to make such an environment at the Osaka YMCA. Now I would like to show the statistics.
DY グループの2019年度の調査では LGBT 性的少数者は
According to the statistics, LGBT Research Institute incorporation of Hakuhodo DYD group about 10%. And then in 2018, dental diversity love, the data is about 8-9%. And then the biggest survey conducted in 2019, Osaka City government, from age 18 to 59 years old. 4,285 people participated in this survey, and then it's about 8.2%. And then 5% of them don't want to decide or haven't decided. And 1 out of 20 doesn't want to decide their own gender. That's the point we pay attention to. Men with this side and then women this side, we easily divide. But 1 in 20 people feel uncomfortable in such a treatment. In 2016, the 3 opposition parties submitted a bill, the marriage equality bill, to the House of Representatives to amend the Civil Code. Nagaoka City Council in Kyoto Prefecture unanimously adopted a letter of opinion calling on the government and the Diet to move forward with discussion of the legalization of the same-sex marriage. We are trying to solve problems that result discrimination and suffering because same-sex couples are not allowed to marry. This spring, Autonomous University and Nara Women's University began accepting students who are male at birth and identify themselves as female. Companies such as Unilever Japan have eliminated the gender and the photo sections on resumes. Kokuyo, a maker of office equipment, is in the process of creating such resumes. Applications for the public high school in Osaka have not had a gender section on them for several years now, and the high school division of the Osaka YMCA also does not have a gender section on their applications, and their uniforms has not been gender specific from the start. I think Osaka YMCA has not separated attendance order by gender for a long time. Although not LGBT, Osaka YMCA's International High School English Language Diploma had his signature printed on it, meaning the principal's signature in the text. I feel that the old stereotype of the principal being a male has always been persistent. We know it in our heads, but can we really accept it in a practice? A girl in a boy's body. What would you do if someone wanted to use the girls' bathroom, change with the girls, or stay overnight in a girl's room? What would you do in such a situation? The bathroom is okay, but changing room is not good. I've been there many times, and I've had a great deal of trouble with the staff.
大変悩み、
And I've discussed with parents and then doctors
保護者とも何度も話
it
し、
deeply with them each time.
その時その時のこう最善
And each time, unfortunately,
でもほとんど
the student did not come out, could not come out
私たちスタッフは知ってい
because
ま
they
すが、
wanted it as a secret.
絶対内緒にしてほしい。
Always having trouble how to do
どう
with
したら
this.
いいか。いつも実は悩んでいるし、このことが分かってしまったら私たちはどうしたらいいんだろうと思いながらしていま
We
す。
want to take good care of this particular person, and then we also want to take good care of people around them.
私たちも大事にしたい。
What will you do about the question raised by Wakana?
今の質問、皆さん
Let's
ならどう
not
思いますか？
Listen to
答えは出
the
されたい
question.
と思います。こう思うというのがあればメールをくださ
I
い。
want the YMCA to be a place where people can be themselves
この人がいて、
when there is people around
こ
them.
の子だけど、
We want to take care of everyone. If you have a question now, or this is what I would think or do, please email me. What's important is now what you know in your head. It's not just what you say, and it's what you say, but what you can do with the person in front of you and how you can live with them. Thank you very much for attending today.
梶田委員長、ありがとうございました。最後に本日の研修会の
Chairperson Ms. Kajita, thank you very
お
much.
願いです。
Finally, I would like to talk about the survey using the Google form.
アンケートへの回答をもって
Please respond to the questionnaire. Submitting the questionnaire is the completion of your attendance of this the workshop. You can check from the email. We will send the notice from the email from tomorrow.
そして本日は岡さんの密着取材の
And then today we have a TV crew reporting the Wakana. When you go home, please be careful of sanitizing your hands and fingers and hands. That concludes this year's Osaka YMCA Human Rights Education Workshop. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for attending.